All right, it looks like we are live. Hello, hello, hello. I am actually had a little change of schedule, so I decided to go ahead and um, do this for you ahead of time, and then we'll post it. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Freedom Fridays, where we are all about really empowering you, uplifting you, and inspiring you to enjoy greater freedom, greater movement, greater energy, vitality, and wealth of being during these crazy times, especially as a sensitive soul, a creative, and a conscious pet parent, animal lover, and or horse guardian. So today, the topic that was coming through for me to chat about with you is that of what I want to call Don't Fence Me In. That is the title I was given for today's topic. And before we dive in, I just want to do a little prayer of intention for our time together. Invite you to settle in with me, settle into your sacred seat, maybe do a little shake, and really just give yourself the gift of this present moment. Invite yourself, call yourself back home on that in breath, and let us empty and release on the exhale. Let's do that a couple more times at your own pace, breathing in, bringing in the new, and letting go of the old, stale energies that no longer serve. And for our final and hopefully fullest breath here, I invite you to really allow yourself to receive even more than before, letting your belly expand into your hands. And on the end of that in-breath, see if you can just hold it for a second or two or three. Hold, 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 and then release. Exhaling and surrendering to this precious moment. If it feels good to you, I have one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. I also like sometimes palms face down on the thighs, whatever feels good to you. And really take a moment and connect and tune in with your self and your heart and your soul, and really what is up for you today. What brought you here? Why do you think you were inspired to tune in to this video message? And just take a few moments to set the intention that feels right to you. Maybe you just want to raise your vibration. Maybe you're looking for a little inspiration. Maybe you're seeking greater clarity. Maybe you just want to feel better. You want to raise your vibes and really expand into the limitless potential and possibility that is available to you, which we can always do so much more easily, more gracefully, more quickly when we drop into this present moment. As we chatted about last week on our Freedom Friday, and the 3 horsey hacks, really to help you enjoy greater freedom. So with that, I'm just going to ask the divine source energy to really surround and ground us, direct and protect, guide and support every step of the way. I ask you, God, to help me deliver clearly the message that needs to be heard by those who are drawn to tune in, and help me to empower, uplift, and inspire them with your wisdom, with your grace, with your divine supernatural powers, and really allow them to rise to their next level, to their full potential with ease and grace. So thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing all of this to happen and for using me as your channel, as your voice, as your vessel to deliver this word today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is done in the way of the highest good. Amen, 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 times 10. And as you feel ready, I invite you to rub your hands together if that feels good to you. Cover your eyes to receive the blessings. And as you open them, come back to the room. So thank you for joining me with that brief, a little prayer of intention. So as I mentioned earlier, this message that came through to me this morning on Don't Fence Me In was actually inspired actually yesterday by or inspired by something that happened yesterday where I was turning Indy out, my beloved Arabian gelding, dream horse come true, I call him. We'll tell you that story another time. But yeah, I couldn't tell if it was going to rain, and these days, with the weather. Anyway, so I was trying to decide whether to, which pasture and all of that to put him up. Just long story short, I put him in the normal pasture out front, but I ended up going out and closing the gate, which I often leave open so he can have more room to come up in the back pasture, because when it's going to rain, I want to be ready, depending on the weather, to be able to get him and get him inside quickly. So I shut that gate, and then I turned him out, and he saw me. He was watching me shut the gate before I, let him loose. And he immediately, took off, ran towards the gate, which he knew and saw me close, and then came, back full speed ahead to Little Buck, and, just really was showing me his that he was displeased, if you will. And so, I heard kind of like that message around don't fence me in. And, similar to the grass being greener, even though he had that full pasture below, but I think he really likes going up in the upper one because he can, see his neighbors, the neighboring horses, although he can see them on the lower one too, depending on where they're at. Anyway, whatever the case may be, is it really reminded me and got me thinking about this idea of not being fenced in. And I don't know if chances are, if you're tuning into this message, then like me, freedom is a core value. And maybe you have a free spirit, a gypsy spirit. Maybe you're a sacred rebel. Can you relate? And maybe you don't like to be fenced in or boxed in, okay? Whether it's a niche or, whatever, you really have this creative, free spirit. So if you can relate, put a little emoji down below and let me know. Write down free spirit. I'd love to hear if you are vibing with those vibes. So, this got me taking it to another layer, and, I still haven't quite gotten this whole camera thing right. I've got anyway, I'm using an app on the phone because the camera's better there than on the computer, and it really kind of throws me off in terms of, anyway, we'll keep going, okay? So it's like opposite what you think, but anyway, what I got to thinking about was not only, this frequency, if you will, that is always on my heart of, freedom and having freedom of choice and freedom of time and, freedom of money and freedom of really, authentic expression and, having the option to really create what I like to call my unbridled life, right? And it's also what I love helping my clients do as well. In, whatever arenas are really speaking to them. And at the end, again, it's all connected. So, the other piece that was coming through was this manifestation piece. So I don't know if you are into the law of attraction or if you have certain manifestation goals that you work on, whether it's through your visualization or journaling or meditation or whatever, however it is. And if you're into that or not, and if you are, let me know down below too. I'd love to hear. And sometimes, and you've probably heard, if you are into the law of attraction, you've probably heard people say that when we set our intentions, whether it's in prayer or journaling or whatever, we always want to say, this or something better, right? Because we don't want to limit really the universe. We don't want to limit God, right? And if you think about God or the divine source energy or the universe or whatever words, again, resonate for you, being so incredibly just powerful, right? And supernatural. Like if we have a certain expectation around how something is supposed to look, right? And we put it in a box, right? We are actually blocking God. And number one, why would we want to do that when anything that God has planned for us, anything that God is really preparing for us is always going to be so much bigger and greater and more beautiful and magical than we can even dream up for ourselves, right? So why would we want to fence God in? Why would we want to really block our blessings by, limiting the way that we think a certain blessing or manifestation should come in, right? And so I really think that's a important piece, because when we get stuck on something looking a certain way, for example, if someone is desiring to attract, a soulmate or a soulmate client or a new, partner in business or maybe even a new, career opportunity, right? All of these things, we have certain ideas, and it's great to be specific, and it's great to know what you like, and it's great to have clarity around that and know what you don't like or what you don't want, right? And we don't want to put limits on it, especially right now in the times we're in. Things are so, really, again, accelerating so quickly. And if you are tuning in and plugging into source and having your daily practice and spiritual practice, right, you are going to be right now, whether you realize it or not, very quickly attracting and manifesting your thoughts, your words, right? Whatever things that you're doing to manifest, you're visualizing, your meditation, your journaling, etc. However, you do that. Right now, the energies are such that we can really manifest very, very, very quickly. And if we are not paying attention, if we're not, observing and being open to things coming to us in a package that might not quite be the way we expect it, or the way we've kind of, again, put it in a specific box, around the way we think something should look, or, maybe we expect it has to come through, an email versus a phone call, or, whatever it is, right? To really be open to not only the signs, but your intuition, and your inner guidance around the messages, the signs and the synchronicities, the divine signs that really, the universe is showing you to bring you closer to your, manifestation goals, your dreams and desires. And so really the message that wants to come through is don't fence yourself in, don't block your blessings, and don't fence God in. Don't, try to control all the specific, exact, and the how, right? The how is not and never is our part. It's never our role. It's never our responsibility. Yes, we still need to take some aligned, inspired action, and 80 to 90% of the game is that inner game of really, connecting with our, our inner landscape, and as I like to say, plugging into source, doing our spiritual practice and connecting with that, that inner space and stillness and that silence within, so we can hear the voice and the whispers of God, right? So we can really connect with our souls and our hearts' deep desires, right? And so, that is really our soul's work. That's the real work. That's the inner work, right? And as we do that, then it becomes easier to actually, see those signs and hear the messages. And again, if we keep an open mind and an open heart and really just allow, we keep our eye on the prize, we keep, we hold on to our vision, we allow it to pull us forward. And we also want, to allow for that or something better, right? The song right now that's coming to me is, I forgot who did it now. Who was the singer? I'm blanking, but Unanswered Prayers. It's a country song, right? And so, sometimes, I don't know if you've ever been in this space. I know I have, where you're working on manifesting a certain, goal or desire, and, it feels like it's not coming in. It feels like it's not coming, and you're waiting, and you're giving up, and you're losing faith, and you're, really kind of just questioning everything, questioning yourself, and and the world and God and the universe and all of that, right? You're questioning and losing faith and losing hope. And really, at the end of the day, if you really dig deep and you really allow yourself to build that solid foundation of trust and faith in in God, right? And really allow yourself to trust that he has your back, and that, is really desiring and planning and preparing only the best for you, right? And that he sees your desires, he knows them, and there are maybe some things that we need to either, release to clear and make space for it, whether it's in the energetic, in terms of our beliefs and our mindsets, whether it's letting go of past disappointments or, trauma, right? So there's that energetic, emotional piece. Then there's physical clutter in our space. There are, habits and certain, relationships, communities, etc., whatever it is, okay, that is no longer aligned with who it is you are desiring to really step into and embody at your next level. Those things kind of need to go to create that space for you to bring in the new, and which is connected with your desire, right? Whatever your desire is, it really is divine. I truly believe that our desires are actually seeds from the divine, planted in our heart, planted in our soul. It's like the soil of our garden, right? And so, based on that core belief, then anything that's showing up is always a reflection of either the weeds, right? The weeds that need to be pulled, right? As because we planted those seeds, that's our vision. And then the certain weeds we need to pull out, and we still have to nourish and tend to our garden, right? For it to grow and eventually, manifest into, whatever it is, right? Into the tree or plant or whatever. But, using that as an analogy, it doesn't always happen overnight, right? Because we need to prepare the garden, and we need to tend to it, and we need to fertilize it and water it and all the things. And again, pull out the weeds so that it can grow more easily and more, strongly. I don't know if that's a word, but anyway, so, really, and it's like weeds. If you use that analogy, the weeds could actually kind of fence in and block the growth of your seeds, right? So really, again, we want to be always pulling those weeds and clearing space and, digging our ditches, or however, you want to look at it, to allow yourself to receive, the blessings that are always connected to your dreams and desires. So I hope this makes sense. I'd love to hear, your thoughts. If you have any comments or questions, really at the end of the day, the message today is going to be kind of short and sweet because, as I said, my schedule got a little messed up, and I just wanted to make sure at least to connect with you. So, what I want to just, in a nutshell, to highlight and recap is don't fence me in. Don't, block yourself. Get out of your own way, right? And part of getting out of your own way, something I always like to say is one of the fastest ways for us to get out of our own way is actually to get out of our head, okay? And get into our bodies, go for a walk, go stretch, dance, get out in nature, getting out of your head. When we get stuck here, that's when we get stuck in those mental loops, right? And so one of the fastest ways to break that pattern, to break that loop, is to get out of your head, okay? Even, I believe it's Tony Robbins who said, when you come from your head, you're dead, or something like that. Anyway, alrighty, so I hope you found value for this. I appreciate if you feel called supporting my channel with a like, with a share, by subscribing. If you know of anyone who would benefit from hearing this message or knowing about my channel, I appreciate you sharing the love. And make sure to ring that bell if you want to get notified the next time I post. I am right now, this may change as time goes on, but right now Wednesdays and Fridays are my 2 days that I am committed to showing up and sharing, either like today, the schedule got changed, so I'm uploading this for you, or going live, and then Wednesdays will be usually either the way of the horse, like some kind of a card reading, or maybe we'll bring the unicorns in, or we'll see what comes through that day. So until next time, I really want to send you so much love, and really invite you to attune your frequency to freedom. I actually have, on that note, I have a freedom frequency attunement, which I am thinking about putting together with a little as a little bundle or a free gift. We'll see. If you're interested in that, let me know. But yeah, and I think that is it for today. The only last thing that I want to share is today is the very last day that I am having my Harness the Connection to Help Each Other Heal home study self-paced course, including a live workshop, live group workshop on animals in the ascension journey. I've been chatting about it for the past couple of weeks, and tonight, midnight, is the cutoff. Okay, you're running out of time. If you haven't checked it out, trot on over. I'll leave the links. Everything you'll need is below. That 50% off right now is only available for a few more hours, depending on when you're seeing this. So yeah, that is I almost forgot to mention that. So so do check it out. Make sure you at least check it out if you haven't already. It's a really powerful, near and dear to my heart collection of high vibe, energy rich training, as well as a supernatural healing kit for you and your animals, and so much more. So a really special offering from my heart right now. Okay, so I am going to let you go with all my love. May the force of horse and source be with you. Namaste. Ciao for now.